UCLA is a university with unlimited possibilities for students that desire world-class academics and research, unmatched diversity, incredible cultural and social opportunities, successful alumni and career networking, first-class campus facilities, plus America's top intercollegiate sports teams. Located in Westwood, just a few miles from the Pacific Ocean, UCLA's 1 square mile campus is surrounded by famous cities such as Bel Air, Beverly Hills, Brentwood, and Santa Monica.
Welcome to UCLA Bruin Talk. I'm Ralph Irvin along with Javrina Seferai, and this week we're talking UCLA women's softball. We're also going to take a look at the Alumni Association, but first Javrina has a look at what's coming up.
UCLA has a lot of exciting events, so let's take a look.
And we are now ready to talk some softball. If you're going to talk softball, we're going to talk UCLA softball because it is the best. And we're joined by UCLA assistant coach Gina Vecchione and outfielder Katie Schroeder. Thank you both for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
No problem.
Let's talk about first, Gina. You've been at UCLA now as an assistant coach for 10 years and have seen the program continue to develop and flourish. Is it something that you have to work on? I mean, there's pressure obviously to succeed here at this program that you just have like nowhere else.
Well, yeah, this is a special place, and we have that tradition and that history. We're the winningest program in the history of NCAA softball, so that comes with a lot of responsibility. And the kids we recruit those special kids that come in that they can handle it both on the field, wearing those 4 letters, and off the field academically here at UCLA.
And of course, you're working for the season opener, which is in early February, so you're already practicing.
Oh yeah, we've been. We had a great fall ball season. We build the foundation. Then the new kids come in, the freshmen, and we build that foundation in the fall and get ready. And now we've turned the corner after the break, and we have about a month before the season starts. We're ready to go.
Katie, the start of your sophomore year, are you excited to get it underway?
Oh, I'm really excited. February 6th is our first 2 games that day.
Yep.
But we're really excited as a team. We can't wait to get back to Oklahoma.
Coach, talking about building that foundation for the freshmen, you had an impressive freshman class coming in. Can you talk a little bit about your methods on recruiting them, on getting them to UCLA? Well,
as far as the recruiting end of it, you go out there and we spend many weekends out about at the different tournaments, and you see the talent, and the first thing we do, we see a talented kid and we'll open the program. What's her grades like? Because you've got to do both here. You've got to do both, and it just is a matter of what we need coming in. Do we need pitching? Do we need catching, outfield hitters, whatever it is. And then we go out, and we're lucky. The program recruits itself because of the history and the tradition. But also, we go out and we pick those kids. And it has to be a fit for them, but it also has to be a fit with us. And that includes their families as well. It's a commitment for life here at UCLA, not just 4 years.
And Katie, you're coming off a successful freshman year. How was it transitioning from playing high school and club softball to playing here?
It was really, really, really hard, but it was a lot of fun. It was one, I always tell people, it was one of the hardest things I've ever done, transitioning from just becoming a college athlete, leaving home for the first time, being away from your family, but it was really fun. So now it's sophomore year, and hopefully it'll be a little bit easier, and it is a little easier in the fall.
But then you put the expectations on yourself, so that just makes it that much harder once again.
And if I could brag about her, I mean, she was part of that recruiting class, the freshman class, top recruiting class in the country last year, coming in. and they were everything that we thought they would be and more. They led us back to Oklahoma City. They put this program back to where it's supposed to be after not so successful in our eyes the year before that.
Right. And how do you, you talk about this year's freshman class, the previous freshman class, how do you develop young players? Because they come in with skills, but
Yes.
it's not necessarily skills that are suited to the college game or certainly to college life.
Well, it is an adjustment, like Katie said, being away from home for the first time, doing things on your own, and managing the collegiate, atmosphere, everything that it has to offer. But yeah, make no mistake, they have the skill level, and we just, it's just a transition where we're just going to build on what they have. It's not you're going to come in here and now you're going to be completely different. I mean, she's an extremely talented. She was the top non-pitcher recruit in the country coming out. And I know what she can do. I'm her outfield coach, so I get to work with her every day. So I'm going to brag about her right now. But, she has the skill, and it's not a matter of, oh, now you're going to play college, so it's going to be completely different. She has the foundation. And like I said, just had been everything we thought that all of them were going to be that freshman year.
And sometimes with freshmen, it's just a case of letting them know that you think they're that good. Sometimes a freshman will come in
fill their well
and not have the confidence where they've got all the game in the world.
Yeah, it's a big step, and especially, like we talk about, it's about the process for us, UCLA softball. Can you imagine if every day we talked about championship, we got to go, we got to win, we got to win? It would be miserable for them because the target's always on our backs, even when we don't come home with the title. We're like the New York Yankees. No matter what, the target's on your back, right, Katie?
Absolutely.
Having players like Katie, who are amazing, Coach, what are your expectations for this season?
Well, our expectations are always high, always bring home that championship. And that hasn't changed in the last, I've been in UCLA softball for 20-something years now. And, like I said, it's a process. So we have goals, they have daily goals, they have goals for themselves individually and as a team. The expectation is definitely a national championship, a Pac-10 title, and, all the individual accolades, the All-Americans, the, Player of the Week, Pac-10 Player of the Week, all of that stuff falls into place. But our goal is to be back in Oklahoma City and have a chance to compete for that title.
Now, your experience coming in as a freshman, playing every game, starting every game, finishing, 6th in the conference in batting, that's something that you can pass on to the new freshmen that come in that say, yeah, it's okay. If you're good enough, you're going to be able to compete against these opponents. You don't need to be nervous about it.
Right. I've never really believed in being nervous. Obviously, that comes with caring about what you do, but more or less all the freshmen that have come in, the 4 freshmen that we have, just have a passion for the game. Right. And I think that that's so important, and that's what our team holds, is each and every one of us has just this dying passion to play softball, which just makes it a lot funner.
Yeah, I mean, if you're having fun, you tend to play better.
Yeah, you play a lot better.
Yeah.
Jen, it seems, Katie, it seems that softball runs in your family, having Jen Schroeder, your older sister, being the catcher on the team. Do you guys, shoot back advice?
Yeah, I actually have another sister who plays at Stanford, who's a year older than me. So there's so many, and then a younger sister who also plays. So there's so many of us. But yeah, absolutely. I talked to Jen.
It really runs in the family.
Oh yeah, they're a softball family.
But my parents are a lot of help. They support us all the way. It's probably not been the easiest thing for them. But obviously having Jen here has been great, just because Michelle's so far away from me. Well, not that far, but far enough. Yeah. Stanford, pretty far. So Jen, yeah, we absolutely talk all the time about softball, and then not so much always about softball, which is a good balance for us. So I think I was really lucky to come to UCLA and play with my sister, which was really fun.
Have there been new things that you've done to get ready for a sophomore season, things that maybe you hadn't tried, in developing your skills prior to coming to UCLA, but you learned, whoa, that's some weakness I had as a freshman, and I want to, fill that hole?
I don't think there's anything that I changed more or less along the way, but I definitely learned the UCLA way, or I'm actually still learning it, because it's something that's forever changing and that will forever live in you. As you could see, it's never, it's always in you once you learn it, but it's a process. It's something you understand your freshman year, and then my sophomore year I start to kind of get the feeling of it, and then hopefully junior, senior years when you actually can put it into play and show the freshmen.
What are you working on with Tasha right now, your game?
Well, I'm a slapper, so I'm working on short game.
Okay.
Working on different steps if we're going to get technical, you know, getting
Just working on footwork and getting out of the box.
The little
Out of the
things
box.
that make the big things happen.
Well,
She's not just a slapper, though. She has the complete game. I mean, she's not one-dimensional. She can do the short game. Oh man, she has a great touch for putting down that bunt. She can do the short game, power slap, and she can hit the ball out of the park as well, drive them in the alleys. So she's a triple threat.
well, you know all sorts of threats because you were a player at UCLA.
Yes, I was.
And in fact, you were the first Bruin inducted into the ASA Hall of Fame. Congratulations on that.
Thanks.
But how is it being, you know, a part of the family and getting to live at UCLA essentially, you know, even so many years after you played?
Oh, I have the best job in the world. I just love it here. I love, you know, like Kay said, I'm a Bruin for life. I love it. And the best part, the thing I like the most about coaching, I mean, I love practice. I love getting out there and seeing them, working them and making them better and seeing them get better. But the best part for me is just being around them and seeing them grow, develop as players, but as people. I mean, this kid right here, she's taken huge strides from last year. You know, on the field, definitely, in the outfield, offensively, off the field as well, in the classroom, socially, all around with her teammates. And she's really starting, like this year, she came in the fall, and she's one of the leaders now. She's one of the go-tos. So it's exciting. That's the part I love.
Well, and you talk about having the best job in the world. It didn't come easy. You had to really work your way up the coaching ladder.
Yeah, well, yeah. When I graduated from UCLA, I coached a year at Cal and then came back here for a little bit, not in a coaching realm, but, and then I coached up at Oregon State for 5 years, and then I was lucky. The best day of my life was when Coach Enquist said, you know, we were at the World Series. I was at the World Series watching UCLA play, and of course cheering for them. And Sue Enquist called me in and said, I have a job for you. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then, you know, I'm lucky because Lisa Fernandez, she was the assistant coach at the time, and she stepped down to a volunteer status to do her Olympic thing and Lisa Fernandez thing. So then I fulfilled that spot.
Well, one thing I did want to touch on real quick was you mentioned, you know, one-dimensional players. It seems like softball's kind of gone in that direction. You know, a lot of teams with one pitcher that goes all the rounds. And I remember when I was in school with UCLA that you'd have a rotation of pitchers. Has it become that there's more specialists in softball now than maybe there used to be?
I don't think so in the pitching world. I mean, we used to back in the day rely on one pitcher.
Okay.
And now it's just now we at the end. You've seen it at the end during the World Series postseason.
Right.
Oh yeah, we rode Jelly Selden here for 4 years, and before that, Kira Girl, Amanda Freed, down the line with those great pitchers. So you know, at the end, who's ever getting it done, boom, we're going to go with. But you need a staff. You need at least 3, at least 2, 3 is great. And we have 3. Jelly's done. She's finished graduation. Now we've got 3 just great pitchers coming in ready to do the job. Megan Langefeld, Donna Kerr, and Whitney Baker.
All right, well, Katie, Gina, thanks for taking the time to join us.
Thank you so much.
We had fun.
And when we return, we will be speaking to Ralph Amos, the administrator for the Alumni Association, after this public service announcement.
A trophy can be made just about anywhere. But there's one place where champions are made. UCLA, champions meet here.
And we're back here on UCLA Bruin Talk. Before we talk to Ralph Amos, let's take a look at this week's Athlete of the Week.
This week, we honor Yasi Jahanshahi of the UCLA women's swimming team as our Student Athlete of the Week. The freshman led the Bruin swimmers at the Aris UCI Invitational, tallying 3 event wins during the sprint and distant portions of the meet. In the sprint portion of the meet, Yasi won the 100 back with a time of 57.66 seconds. the 200 IM with a time of 2 minutes and 6.96 seconds, and the 200 back with a time of 2 minutes and 4.39 seconds. In the distance portion of the meet, the Bruins swept the top 9 places, with Yasi finishing second to sophomore Lauren Hall. Congratulations, Yasi, and good luck to the rest of the UCLA women's swimming team. If you would like additional information about UCLA athletics, you can call us on our fan phone line at 310-825-8575, or you can visit us on our website at uclabruins.com.
And again, congratulations to Yasi. We're joined now by UCLA Alumni Association Executive Director Ralph Amos. Came to UCLA in August of 2007 from Ohio University, where he held a similar position. Ralph, thanks for joining us.
Glad to be here.
And talk about, you came to UCLA, West Coast, from Ohio. Okay, well, forget about the temperature changes for a moment. How big a transition was it coming from a school that was in the Mid-American Conference to a Pac-10 school the size of UCLA?
Well, namely, I think it's about the size and scope of our athletic program and the great success of UCLA in terms of the NCAA wins that we've had over the years. It's been very exciting. I like the energy of it. I like the pride that the Bruins have, and the goals of advancing this institution are right on point with where I think we can go as a body or a nation of graduates. So it's pretty exciting. And
again, it had to be interesting to come in to see a association that had a lot of tradition built in, and yet with holes that you could fill with some of your own ideas.
Yeah, that's really what we're looking at. It's an incredible program, and many of our services that we've offered and some of the successes that we had over the many years that we've been in business are going to continue. We're very excited about that, and we're looking forward to some of the new and innovative contemporary programs and services that we can provide to alumni, helping them live their lives in a way that's meaningful out in the world, because we have Bruins everywhere.
Having Bruins everywhere, how are you able to contact them, get them, the messages for them to be included in the tradition?
Absolutely. Well, technology's helped a lot over the years. I mean, we have email addresses for 50% of our members, and approaching 132,000 or so in the database. Of course, we want more, and it's really the way to communicate today. And online communities that's like Facebook, Yelp, and such are really the way we're going. We'll have one up and running for Bruins, we hope, in the next few months. So once we get that in place, we're going to be able to interchange and engage in very new and dynamic ways. So we're very excited about that.
And with such a diverse population that you're going to, one thing that they all have in common is they were here on campus.
Correct. That's
got to be something that then you work for to get them back to campus so that they can get a little bit more excited about UCLA.
Absolutely. We look at bringing Bruins back. Now, 82% of all Bruins live in the Southern California area. It's a very unique sort of factor within the alumni population here for UCLA. There's some good to it, and there's some challenges with it, of course. Right. When you're that close by, you can drive by on Wilshire and maybe not make the stop. Our goal is to get folks coming to campus, interacting with students, with faculty, staff, on things that really matter in advancing the institution. More important, we're trying to think of ways and channels of delivery to get out to where they live. If it's Orange County, if it's San Francisco, Chicago, New York, how do we meet alumni where they live and work with them on those projects that are of importance to their communities? So we're looking at a sort of a two-sided sort of approach to getting Bruins more engaged in the life of UCLA.
And of course, with so many people spread all over the world, you might have a UCLA Bruin alumni club in different cities, and people might think that that's just something people started themselves, but really it's an extension of the work you're doing here on campus.
Absolutely. It's just the way we finger out. We have more than 80 organizations that are UCLA alumni something. Could be of greater New York. It's a network in places where our graduates live and work. So it's really quite dynamic. So if there's an interest or an affiliation, an affinity that you have to UCLA, there's a means for you to get involved, and we encourage alumni wherever you are to reach back and reach through to the great school that we all are a part of.
And you talk about getting people back on campus, whether it's local or even getting people to travel to come back to campus. And that's all based on event calendars and events that you can plan to get people on, including a busy spring schedule.
Yes. This spring, we're bringing several major events to the campus that are intended to engage alumni. One is our Black Alumni is holding its first reunion for Black graduates to come back to campus. That's going to be in April. In May, we're going to have what we call UCLA Day, which is really UCLA Alumni Day. Last year, we had 3,000 plus alumni come back. We're hoping for 5, the next year 10. And it's the day for Bruins to get on planes, trains, cars, whatever you do, to get to campus. And it's a day focused on all things UCLA, so you can reconnect and engage. It's really exciting.
Mr. Amos, do you send them again, going back to contacting the alumni, sending them emails again, or?
Well, many ways. We have the UCLA magazine, which goes out quarterly. So we highlight events in there. We also push emails through our email system, and that's through Alumni Connect, or through other websites that we have. And that also it takes place in our government affairs, our communication and marketing offices, and through our development team. So if you're a graduate, you're going to somehow, I think, hear about this, or just click to www.uclalumni.net, and you'll be able to get in touch with us.
And Mr. Amos, do you think you could expand on your responsibilities, on what you do day to day, maybe to students who don't know your position as the Alumni Association?
Yeah, my primary role is to oversee all programs that are related to alumni, what we call outreach and engagement. We have a staff of about 45 people who focus on alumni programming solely. If it's through our clubs or chapters, networks that we call them, or if it's through the college or school academic related activities, we have those as well. We also have a strong marketing and communication arm, the people who do the emails and help print the magazine and get the communication out. We have a staff that does, of course, administration to manage the staff as well as the monies that come in from our membership. Out of the 380,000 alumni of UCLA, 90,000 of them are members, and that grows every day. People join to take part of the services and the events that go on for the organization.
Now, when you came into UCLA, there were already a lot of traditional events in place, events like the Dinner with 12 Strangers, which has been around for as long as a lot of people can remember. How was it coming in and having those traditional events, and how did they compare with maybe some things that you had done previously in your other posts?
Some of them are truly extraordinary and unique to UCLA. And like the Dinner with 12 Strangers, that program has been replicated across American higher education as a UCLA program. People saw it and thought, what a cool idea to get faculty and students and alumni to sit down and have dinner together, break bread together. And I know back at Ohio University, where I came from, they heard about the program and they did an Ohio University version of Dinner with 12 Strangers. So we should be very proud of events like that. Other events that are huge that we're involved in are Spring Sing, which is hugely connected to the entertainment industry. Other events are, like used to be Homecoming, and now we call it Blue and Gold Week. The students are becoming more and more aware of that. The alumni come back. And what we're trying to do is connect the students to their future and the alumni to their past. And somewhere they meet in the middle here on campus, we hope, or out in the world. So that we have this network of Bruins that are indeed sort of a nation, if you will, of getting good things done for the region and for our school.
Well, and in a year and a half, I would assume that you've now found a couple of niches, a couple of holes where maybe you can develop your own new traditions to carry on for the time to come.
Yeah, for example, to that end, it's this notion of the networking, online networking and online communities. Social communities are really important. We don't have one up and running for UCLA. That would be an area that is urgent, that we need to get in place so that people can connect and engage with one another about jobs, about job opportunities or internships for students. And that is a great hole, if you will, in our program. We'll get that up and running shortly. We're also looking at how to be more efficient and to provide services that are contemporary. Life has changed since the beginning of alumni relations, I guess when Harvard did it 400 years ago. So alumni are just living different lives. It's busier, they're focused on things that are of different importance, like sustainability and the economy, and all of those things are very important. So how do we find those needs, fill those needs in their lives through this organization? So that's how we're becoming a more contemporary organization, sort of serving alumni through their personal, professional, and intellectual self.
Well, and you mentioned it before, the website really is the beehive of information. I mean, that's where everyone goes. And what is the website address again?
It's simply www.uclalumni.net.
So UCLAalumni.net.
Correct. Just drop one of these. Push them together.
And people can get information there if they're not members of the Alumni Association, as well as what type of activities and events are coming up.
They certainly can. That's the best way to do it, or just pick up the phone and call us.
All right, Ralph, thanks for taking the time to join us.
Thank you so
Go
much.
Bruins. Thank you.
Yeah.
And we want to thank Ralph Amos for joining us, the Executive Director of the Alumni Association. Also, thanks to Katie Schroeder and Gina Vecchione from the UCLA Women's Softball Team. And thank you for joining us here for UCLA Bruin Talk. Bye.